In your career, have you broken a song? Have you ever been credited with breaking a song?
Breaking a song, I don't think I've been credited. Have I been part of breaking a song? Yes. Me personally, just like breaking one song and being like the one person that broke it. No. Uh, like even recently, like CJ song Whoopty, my guy DJ Stacks, I was like one of the first people that got it. He gave me a um a, a drop version on it, and I've been playing it. I had the radio show playing it on that, playing in the club. So I was one of the people playing it early before it got hot. I mean, I remember when it had like 1,000 streams, like that early, and so I've been a part of records being broken for sure.
Care to share or claim
Uh,
what records you've been a part of breaking?
I mean, you're talking about like Whoopty. I remember even like with XXX Tatashi on like Look at Me. I remember early on playing that at shows and a lot of the bigger artists that we're seeing now. I was playing their music at shows. Trippy Red, um, their first projects. Ski Master Slump God, uh, Lil Pump, and just like that whole energy of music. I was playing some of it in the clubs before like people really knew what it was, before it became the mainstream music that it is today.
How do you break a song in 2021?
Get it on a playlist. like really like in the era I came up in, it was mixtapes. Like everything was mixtapes. People discovered music on mixtapes. And then now with the new streaming services, well, I guess they're not new now, but with the creation of the streaming services, those playlists, those go-to playlists are now the new versions of those mixtapes. They curate and tell you what's going to be hot, what's hot, because it's the good music, or supposed to be the good music that's out.
Now, when it comes to breaking songs, have you ever been wrong about a song?
I
You,
mean, yeah, there's definitely songs I played that didn't get any leg room at all, like didn't move. I don't know if I was exactly wrong because I liked the song. Like there's just good music that just doesn't go. Sometimes there's politics behind it. Sometimes it just doesn't get the reach that it should get. Other people don't pick it up, and so on.
what about on another end of the spectrum? You get presented with a song somehow, or whether it's word of
Hmm.
mouth or somebody actually from a camp gives it to you or the artist themselves, and they want you to break it or play it or whatever, and you just personally don't believe in the song, and then time goes by and it's a huge hit and you was like, ugh,
I
I
know it.
didn't call it right.
Yeah, I know it's happened. I just can't remember what song it was. It
A
probably
song
happened
you
a
were wrong
couple of times.
about.
Yeah. Ah, man. I don't know. It might have been like early Little Yachty stuff. Like I think, cause I really wasn't into like Yachty's earlier stuff, cause I really didn't get it. Um, but a lot of times with me is I won't get something until I see it live, and then it like kind of clicks when I see the fans interacting with, like even 21 Savage, earlier stuff. Like I was like, oh, this is cool, but it's all right. And then I finally see him perform, and I seen the crowd's reaction. I was like, oh, I get it now. This is lit. Like, and then like it changes my whole aspect of listening to the music.
And then what about songs you were right about? Were there songs that, you know, you were early on, you really believed
Hmm.
it way more than people did, and it ended up becoming a hit, and you were right?
Yeah. I remember like earlier, like Tyler the Creator stuff early on, even Weekend. So I remember listening to Weekend earlier when it was just like an EP from this dude in Canada with we never seen his face, like, and we're playing that in the club. And like if it was one of those like if you know you know type of situations. I always like those because once they catch on, it's really dope. You're like, yeah, I've been playing this.
Now, I don't know if this is, well, this may sound like a similar question.
Okay.
I don't know if it's going to generate the same response from you or not, but I asked you initially, how do you break a song in 2021? How do you break an artist in 2021?
Um, Definitely the playlist, but I think also like the interviews, like platforms like this. Touring. Touring, I think, is a big part of it. Like being an opening act, doing shows, getting in front of people, and performing. Like people always ask me, like, "Yo, how do I get on the festival?" How like we like to see artists that are working, that are performing, because we are a live performance show. So if you're not doing shows and not performing, why would do you want to do Rolling Loud? Like that's what it is. So like I love to see artists performing, building fan base, local fan base. It doesn't matter like if it's 10 people there and you're performing and you're building 10 fans, because those 10 fans turn into 100 fans and 1,000 fans, then 100,000 fans. Like it just grows and grows. So I think performing and being in front of people is like one of the top things that an artist can do to grow.
Speaking of Rolling Loud, do you have a say-so personally in the artists that end up performing?
Yeah, and some like I could definitely get my say and input on lineups and so on, and you know if I see someone that I think is dope or coming up that like really building the buzz, like I definitely yo so and so is kind of hot in this market. Let's take a look at them. Or sometimes I get the call or the DM like, yo, this is the next dude. The insider, kind of like the insider news, and then we gotta let's see if we can put something together. So
There may be an artist watching this that's like, man, I would love to get on Rolling Loud in the lineup, but I'm not signed to a record label. I've never signed a recording contract. Can an artist that's unsigned, no recording contract, make it onto a Rolling Loud lineup?
most definitely, there are a ton of artists on those lineups that are not signed. They're independent. They're just working and grinding. Um, yeah, there's some influence from labels and different things, and working with other artists, and you being, we sell tickets. That's our job as a festival, is to sell tickets. So our job is to take artists that the fans are going to want to see, and the fans that they possibly and artists that possibly the fans need to see because they're going to be the next bigger artist. And a lot of those artists are independent artists. Those are people that are recording in their bedrooms, doing the shows, building the fan base a strong way. And, those are the openers, the guys at the bottom of it. And I get hit up all the time like, yo, so-and-so, I got more followers than X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, well, are you doing the work that they're doing? Like, because they're going to have more followers than you in next year and probably have a deal and be on tour next year because they're on that work path when you're just like in the same place you were the year before. So the growth, watching these growth patterns, and you kind of can see it before it starts.
Is money ever an influence? Can an artist not signed, never signed a recording contract, but one of those guys that says, man, I got more money than all these openers. Can they pay to get on and open?
Cannot pay to get on Rolling Loud. You cannot pay. What you can do is use some of that money for marketing to build your brand and get on our radar. That's what you should be doing with it. You should be, performing, but maybe you pay to go on a tour. Like build your brand up. That's really what it is. Make it so that you have a fan base that demands that you be on the festival. That's really what we're following. We're like, oh, this demo, like New York's really likes this guy right now. We need to book him. Yeah.
And when it comes to breaking artists, I've asked you these questions about songs. I'm going to ask you about artists. Has there been an artist that you were wrong about? You didn't think was going to be as big as they are now? You didn't see the tunnel of light for them, so to speak, and you guessed wrong. You thought wrong.
Man.
And now they're huge.
I don't know. Like, I don't think in my head, I don't think I've thought of it that way. Like, nah, dude's never gonna make it. Like, after, especially.
Or it could even be like, maybe somebody has a hot song for the moment, and you might think, he's just a one-time wonder. A one-hit wonder.
Going. Yeah.
And he kept going and getting legs and momentum, and now is a headliner himself. I mean, is there any of that?
Shoot. Originally, well.
An artist you were wrong about.
Yeah.
Could be one of those people that DM'd you and was like, hey, man, this guy's hot, and you just didn't see it at the time, and now they've blown up.
Man. I remember, I want to say, possibly, OT Genesis earlier on. Like, after Coco, I didn't know if he could come back with a bigger song than Coco. I remember asking his road manager, like, what's next? And he's like, yo, he has this song with Young Dolph that's about to go crazy. I think
Cut it?
Yeah, Cut It. And I was like, all right. And I'm just saying, like, all right, cool. And then Cut It went crazy. I was like, all right. So I think that's one thing I can remember was, like, not knowing if, like, because Coco was such a big song when it dropped in the club. It was just, like, that banger. The whole entire crowd's chanting it. Like, you don't get any bigger than that as an anthem type of song. So following up with that is a big task. And he did it a couple times, really. So.
And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, what's maybe an artist you were on really early, maybe prematurely, and you thought they were going to be the next to blow, and they did?
Man.
Has there been anybody you were right about?
I mean, like, a lot of times I can see it, but it's really about, like, the levels of it. Like, did I ever think, like, even with, like, X, right? Well, XXX Tentacion, like, when I'm at these underground shows, there's might be, like, 400, 500 kids there, right? You never expect that this kid would be one of the top artists in the world, like, doing more streams. Like, when you're in the moment, you're just like, oh, he's dope. He has a dope fan base in Florida, and he just got bigger, and I just like bigger and bigger and bigger, and it was just like, wow. And so I never, like, thought that far ahead at the moment, and then, like, and now I see it. Now it's like anyone can really, you never know. Like, Juice WRLD's huge, like, became huge, and even, like, me watching, like, Ski Master Slump God become Ski. I remember Ski just hanging out at shows, and now he's just like this, touring the world, doing shows all over the place. So it's definitely cool to see the growth.